It's time for Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX, on your radio at AM 940 and online at WMIXsports.com. Rams Baseball is presented by the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams, Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. The Mount Vernon Rams on WMIX are also sponsored in part by Ren Lake College. See how you can save thousands on your education at rlc.edu. The Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon, Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto, Good Samaritan Regional Health Center, Raising a Hospital, Raising the Bar, Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, and also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois, Sarah Staley, your country financial agent, Heartland Accounting, and by Central Christian Church. It's time to join Chris Hugo and Danny Zerwinski in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios for Mount Vernon Rams Baseball. Rams pregame show starts now.
And good afternoon from Belleville. This is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Today, the Mount Vernon Rams on the road against the West Maroons. So glad to have you with us. Chris Hugo with you. Danny Zerwinski, of course, is on assignment. Jesse Clark is back at our Mount Vernon studio. Should be a good one today between the 17-10 Maroons and the 24-6-1 Mount Vernon Rams. We need to slip in a quick break. When we come back on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show, we'll have your Central Christian Church batting orders, as well as more insight through this ball game between the West Maroons, who are sit atop the Southwestern Conference, and your South Southern Conference champion, Mount Vernon Rams. This is Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
I'm Andy Robb with a look at your next rad weather this afternoon. Partly sunny skies, pleasant and warm, high 69. For tonight, clear skies, low 52. Partly sunny and warm tomorrow, high 86. Tuesday night, clear skies, low 62. Warm with clouds and sun on Wednesday with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, high 86. Showers and a thunderstorm Thursday, high 78. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
The technology in the 2013 Ford Fusion keeps you connected with the world and with your car. Hi, Roy Schmidt, Ford dealer at Ford Square, Mount Vernon. Available sync with My Ford Touch allows you to keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road while you play your favorite music. Control the interior climate, make or receive phone calls, and receive turn-by-turn directions. The new suspension system delivers a smooth ride, and for peace of mind, the available intelligent all-wheel drive system gives you traction when you need it most. Already affordable, drive away in a 2013 Ford Fusion for only $20,995 when you finance through Ford Motor Credit. Come see one of our associates at Ford Square, Mount Vernon, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, or see our entire inventory online at fordsquare.com.
You can count on us. Yes, you can.
Learn to live healthy, learn to live well, and learn how you can live free from unexpected medical expense with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance and the Page Agency. Health insurance that covers hospital, medical, and surgical expenses offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount, too. Rising medical costs don't have to be a problem with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance. This is coverage we hope you'll never need, but you just can't be without. Call the Page Agency at 242-7000 about a major medical health insurance plan today.
You're listening to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
And we welcome you back behind West High School in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios. Chris Hugo with you. Danny Zerwinski is on assignment. And, of course, Jesse Clark is back at our Mount Vernon studio. AM 940, WMIXsports.com. So glad to have you. Don't forget, you can stay up to date on the Twitterverse at WMIX Sports. So give us a follow or like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Behind West High School, it is the Mighty Maroons, coming 9-3 in the Southwestern Conference, of course, tied atop with the O'Fallon Panthers. Edwardsville was in a three-way race until losing a game this past week. They fall to 9-4. Probably the surprise of the conference, the Alton Redbirds, who many thought might be atop the conference with those three teams, sits way back, second to last place with a 3-8 conference mark. And, of course, Eastside brings up the rear at 0-12. Meanwhile, the Rams are the South Southern Conference champions for a fourth consecutive year, 8-1-1. As they finish the conference, coming off of a stinger against Mater Dei on the road on Friday. Only the second shutout of the season. They lost 4-0, and of course, that ended a 14-game unbeaten streak for the Rams, who prior to that had not lost since the game at Carbondale back in April. Of course, today could be a much different story. They succumbed to this tough West team last year, That was back at Brennan Klein Memorial Field. I believe picked up a win in 2011 right here at this facility. He'll be up to Brock Fulkerson to put his 8-1 mark on the line today with a 2.32 ERA. Has 45 strikeouts this season, 21 bases on balls allowed, while Jacob Wilson will take the mound for the Maroons. He is 3-1 with a 2.69 ERA, 30 strikeouts, and just 22 bases on balls allowed here in 2013. Busy week for Belleville West. Not only do they have the Rams here today, they will go on the road for 3 consecutive afternoons where they will play Granite City, Carbondale, and Collinsville on back-to-back-to-back days. Friday, they'll come back home to face Cahokia, and then they'll round out the regular season in a doubleheader with both Triad and Waterloo on Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, they will take on crosstown rival the East Lancers on Thursday in the O'Fallon Regional at Lazier Field. So that should be an interesting O'Fallon 4A Regional, while the Rams still have a couple of games left this week. Of course, they have Edwardsville on Wednesday, and then we'll come back home to Brennan Klein Memorial Field on Saturday to have a doubleheader with the Highland Bulldogs before Saturday's graduation. Speaking of which, you can watch Saturday night's commencement exercise on WMIXSports.com or WMIX94.com, and it's all brought to you by Red Lake College. So if you can't happen to make it, or maybe it rains, and you're one of those left out in the cold as far as getting a ticket to watch your loved one graduate, you can watch it online, of course, at WMIX94.com or WMIXSports.com on Saturday night. We'll get started about 8 o'clock as soon as Dr. Smith will take the podium at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, or, of course, Shagnon Gym, the weather permitting. Here at Belleville West, though, we have a busy, should be a great afternoon for you today. Beautiful, beautiful Monday afternoon. Here in the ballpark, the dimensions are 320 down the line, just 375 in the gaps, and straightaway center field is about 400 feet away from home plate. So, there you go. It's going to be tough to hit one out today. Maybe you can sneak one over one of the porches, but we'll see how this Rams offense does. Your Central Christian Church batting order, of course, Jake Pike will lead it off in right field. Landon Thomas bats second out in center. It'll be Colin Young, your catcher, batting third. Colton Metter is back at first base in the cleanup spot, while Trevor Floater returns to the starting lineup after a day off. He will bat fifth at second base. Batting sixth at shortstop is Matthew Williams. Clayton Reeves bats seventh out in left field. It'll be Sawyer Harrison at third base, batting eighth. And Hayden Peninsky rounds out the batting order, of course, your DH today, batting for the pitcher Brock Fulkerson. Defensively for the Maroons, it'll be Jacob Wilson, as we told you, looking for win number 4. This is his fourth start of the season. He is 2-1 in starting performances. He does have a relief victory. 3-1 on the year, 2.69 earned run average, and of course we told you 38 strikeouts compared to 22 bases on balls. Round the horn, of course, for the Maroons, it'll be, well, we forgot about Austin Hammer behind the plate. It'll be Adam Bauer at first base. Of course, Nick Van Onsdale, name you might more recognize from the basketball surface. He's at second base. Aaron Myers at shortstop. Donnie Foster's at third. It'll be Brendan Sake at left field. Alex Sherrills gets to start at center, while Braden James will be your right fielder. He will not bat in the Belleville West lineup. So we should get started. Scheduled time was 4:30, but of course, typically here in the Metro East, games get underway about 4:15. Looks like we might see somewhat of a compromise here, maybe about 4:22 or 4:23, as both umpires are in attendance, and thankfully, of course, for the JV team, they are in action today, as they have a big JV game. Of course, the JV got a doubleheader victory against O'Fallon on Saturday. Both of them took extra innings, but the Rams were able to sweep the Panthers and improve the JV record as well. Of course, we told you the Rams are in action on Wednesday at Edwardsville. DC will have the call of that one. He's on assignment today. I'm Chris Hugo with you. Hopefully enjoy this broadcast together. We need to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the first pitch here from Belleville West. This is Rams Baseball, your Landers Collision Center's pregame show from WMIX Sports.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins. You did it. It's graduation day, and you've got that feeling beyond compare. From kindergarten to graduation, your day-to-day efforts have been your first long-term investment. Community First Bank extends congratulations along with a promise. In the coming year, we will increase our community scholarship dollars to encourage graduation goals across Jefferson County and further invest in our community. Like us on Facebook to learn more. Community First Bank, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
You've just got to see the new Chevy Sonic at Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. The Sonic gets an estimated 40 miles per gallon on the highway. The Sonic features a 5-star safety rating. It's very affordable. Right now, you can get a rebate up to $1,000. And with a full factory warranty backed by a service department that is second to none, why buy used? Get your Chevy Sonic today at Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Back to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
And we head to the top of the first. This concludes your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. His first pitch comes right at 4:22. And it looks like it misses high for a ball to Jake Pike, who gets us started here on a beautiful Monday afternoon. Sunny skies here in Belleville. We're at West High School, part of Belleville Township High School District 201. So the 1-0 pitch will be a fastball swung on a miss by the left-handed Pike. 1 ball, 1 strike on an even count. Committee First Bank of the Heartland serves as the official voice of Rams and Lady Rams Athletics here on WMIX. We'll tell you more about them throughout the broadcast. We await the 1-1 offering. Here it comes. Looks like it's pushed outside the plate. Here to the left-handed Pike. It's ahead now. 2 balls, 1 strike. We're back on the air tomorrow with Lady Rams softball against Effingham. 4:15, your scheduled pregame on AM 940 and online, of course, at WMIXsports.com. Here comes the 2-1. Looks like it misses low and away. 3-1 hitters count here to Pike. Of course, on deck, it's Landon Thomas, Colin Young to follow here in the top of the Rams first. No score yet, just away from Belleville West. The Maroons, of course, relying on Jacob Wilson. Here comes foul tip, and the count will be worked full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Pike. Of course, the 5 years of county branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts. Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. No score, top of the first, full count, check swing. It'll be pop, foul, left field as it shades, and it'll be 3-2 all over again. Of course, the Rams lost a tough one to Mater Dei on Friday, 4-0. Of course, prior to that, they clinched their South Southern Conference Championship outright with a 6-2 victory over the Orphans. And, of course, the pitcher from Tuesday's game is back on the hill today, Brock Fulkerson, looking for win number 9. Right-hander Wilson will get set on the mound out of the windup. We await the full count offering again. Swung on a miss. And a good at bat by Pike that comes up just short with a frontward strikeout. So bring in the left-hander, of course, Landon Thomas. He'll play baseball next year at Lynn Lake College. On deck, of course, is Colin Young, who will play for the Lindenwood Lynx right here in Belleville, though they play their home games actually at GCS Ballpark. That's an interesting little factoid. They share a home, of course, with the Gateway Grizzlies, and, of course, I believe the Webster Gorlocks. We're going to have a strike ball. And just like that, is 0-1 to Landon Thomas. So nobody on and 1 out here in the scoreless top half of the first inning. Glad to have you as we get started a smidge early at Belleville West. As the next pitch is pushed off the plate and low, it'll even things up here at 1 ball and 1 strike. Denny Zerwinski on assignment. I'm Chris Hugo. Jesse Clark back at our Mount Vernon studio. Back at it tomorrow. Lady Rams softball against Effingham. May have sent Salem earlier. That'll be on Friday. Blooper towards left center field. Sherrills can't catch up with it. And that'll be a 1-out single. Gets away from Sherrills. Thomas commits to taking second base, where he'll be out. Well, he'll get the single, and then he's thrown out, of course. 8-4, unfortunately. So that puts 2 outs on the board and nobody on here in the top of the first. And committed to running. Didn't get far enough away from Sherrills, who, watching practice, or at least defensive practice, has a pretty good arm. Also pretty personable. Was able to talk to him briefly before the game. Kind of surprised that any team in the area, of course, would have a radio, but that's pretty common in our neck of the woods. So, with 2 outs, Young steps in, base is empty. Here comes the pitch on the way, and he'll take it on the outside corner for a strike. Aaron's hoping that quick work will not be made here in the top of the first inning. We're about 3 minutes in, no score yet. Here comes. The 0-1's going to miss a low and in, so trying to pound away at the plate. Just misses. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on here in the top half of the first. We're on the Twitterverse at WMIX Sports. Of course, we'll look for a Lynn Lake College player of the game in this one as well, where you can save thousands on your college education at Lynn Lake College. Log on to rlc.edu to find out how. The 1-1 is going to catch the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Wilson is trying to make quick work of the orange and black. Speaking of which, the Rams have no black tops, orange trim, orange numerics trimmed in white. Gray pants and the high black striped socks. And that's going to be a call for a strike on the outside corner. Young can't believe it. I can't either. And the Rams go 1-2-3 here in the first. No score through 1/2. This is Rams Baseball from WMIX Sports.
It happens every spring. You need a great quality new-to-you vehicle. There's a reason why Second Chance Auto has been helping put families into affordable, dependable vehicles for over 32 years. Honest, fair deals. Ain't nothing fancy, just great vehicles with warranties. Honest deals and bank rate financing for all. That's the only way Second Chance Auto will do business. And you don't even have to leave your home to get credit approval. Call Second Chance Auto at 244-4582 and get pre-approved right over the phone. They know bad things can happen to good people. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon.
Your future is calling. With a GED test and some help from Lynn Lake College, you can answer the call. The current test expires at the end of 2013, and your scores will expire too if you don't finish and pass the test by then. Don't feel prepared? Don't worry, we can help. Visit finishtheged.com to learn more. Don't miss the chance to turn one small step into your next big opportunity, like college, a better job, and the respect you deserve. Finish your GED by the end of 2013. Questions? Call Lynn Lake College's Adult Education and Literacy Department today at 437-5321.
Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back to WMIX AM 940, of course, online at WMIXsports.com. It's near the bottom of the 4 o'clock hour. No scores. We enter the home half of the first at Belleville West. For the Maroons will be Alex Sherrills leading off at center field. Adam Bauer bats second at first base. The shortstop, Aaron Meyer, will bat third, while Nick Van Osdale is in the cleanup spot at second base. Parker Biney gets to start at DH today. He will bat fifth. It'll be Brendan Sakin, left field, batting sixth. Austin Vammer, the catcher, bats seventh, while Donnie Foster, the third baseman, will bat eighth, and the pitcher, Jacob Wilson, will bat ninth for Lee Myers, West Maroons, 17-10 on the year, 9-3, still to the top of the Southwestern Conference East. They still have conference games, of course, with Granite City and Collinsville. That's tomorrow and Thursday, both on the road. Of course, a busy week. They're playing every day, West is, and, of course, then we'll have a layoff until Thursday in the O'Fallon Regional. So the first pitch from Brock Fulkerson will catch right across the plate, 0-1 to Sherrills. For the Rams defensively, catching Fulkerson is the senior catcher, Young. It will be Harrison, Williams, Flota, and Metter from third to first. Is this going to be punched in the right center field for a leadoff single? Well, Sherrills gets aboard. That'll bring in Bauer. Your outfield for the Rams today, Clayton Reeves in left, Landon Thomas in center, and Jake Pike out in right. Interesting batting practice taken by West before the game. They didn't use their cages. Instead, set up about 3 different stations, one near each dugout, then one off of the mound. And that is how they take their BP instead of using their cages over here by the first base dugout. So interestingly enough, they got through it. Of course, seemed dangerous as kids will pitch to the batters, but it works for them, and here it comes. This will be ripped right to the first baseman. Metter steps on the bag, going to throw to second. It's in time. Williams unable to hang on, and so that'll go down as a 3 unassisted on the fielder's choice, and Sherrills advances to second. So 1 out, a runner in scoring position now for the left-handed Aaron Meyer. We assume that's Lee Meyer's boy. Tried to ask before the game, couldn't catch up with Coach Meyer, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens here with 1 out and a runner on. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Glad to have you with us from the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. Tell you more about that crew in just a moment. As the first pitch is going to miss low and inside to Meyer. It'll be 1-0. Ford Square, your home for the 2013 Ford F-150. See them for yourself at 1501 Broadway or look online at FordSquare.com as they will check on the runner at second. Gets back safely. Good move there by Brock Fulkerson. Great coverage, of course, by the middle infield. And we will get back to the action. Bottom of the hour on WMIX Mount Vernon. A free service from Withers Broadcasting. Straight up, it's 4:30. Got started about 4:22. No score. Bottom of the first with the runner on. And 1 out as Myers going to tip 1 foul. And the count will even 1 ball and 1 strike. Fulkerson has 45 Ks on the year compared to 21 balls. Landon Thomas, of course, second on the team with 39 strikeouts. Out center field today. Fulkerson out of the stretch with the runner on second. The right-hander gets set, fires 1, and that's going to be fouled off with the third base dugout. And behind the count now is Meyer, 1-2. Van Osdale on deck. You might more remember him from the basketball hardcourt. Joe Muniz's Maroons. Epic battles, of course, in the Centralia Holiday Tournament for the Maroons. Of course, the Rams, meanwhile, basketball side, go to T-Town next year. Here comes. He fouled off. Good defense of the plate here by Aaron Meyer. Speaking of good defense, of course, the Toronto Maple Leafs and Boston Bruins will be embroiled in a tough Game 7 battle tonight. Of course, that's not the only Game 7 in the National Hockey League. The Rangers also will tangle tonight. So time was called by the batter Meyer. We'll get back to it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, a runner aboard here in the bottom of the first. As Fulkerson will step off the hill. So tomorrow, it's Lady Rams softball against Effingham. Wednesday, the Rams will travel to Edwardsville to take on another Southwestern Conference foe. Here comes. Play the schedule more so in just a moment. That's going to be a foul ball just outside the first base bag, and we'll do 1-2 all over again. Then on Thursday, WMIX Sports will actually have the day off. Friday, we'll head to Salem for Lady Rams softball against the Lady Wildcats. And then on Saturday, weather permitting, of course, we'll have the Rams doubleheader with the Highland Bulldogs. It'll be a 10:45 pregame, so we'll get the full Saturday sports show. And then we hope it'll be a busy couple of weeks as the Rams and Lady Rams will head to postseason play. Hopefully, of course, going on the sectionals will be off. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the first. No score from Belleville West. As you guessed it, Meyer will send another one down. So an 8-pitch inning thus far here for Brock Fulkerson. With 1 out and a runner aboard. West threatens here, of course, with a runner in their half of the first. Rams with 1-2-3. Got a single from Thomas back in the first. But was gunned down at second base, trying to advance on the ball that got past Cheros out there in the outfield. So this one slips outside. The count is even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Osdale on deck. We'll see Viney barring a double play here in the bottom half of the first for West. Of course, we'll tell you more about their week coming up. It's a busier week for the Maroons. Of course, the Rams, assuming the weather plays out, should get all 35 games, and that's the max according to the Illinois High School Association. Not getting all 35 last year. The year before that, just missed by a couple of games. So 2-2 the count. Here comes. Swung on a miss. Good patience there by Fulkerson. Kept coming back. Never let the guard down. And that'll be the second out. So 2 outs and the runner on here for Nick Van Osdale. All-star basketball player out of the Southwestern Conference. Was all-conference. We'll see what he's made up here on the baseball time. I assume he's pretty salty being the cleanup spot for the Maroons, who are 17-10. 9-3 in the tough Southwestern Conference, and that'll be a bender on the inside corner for a strike to Van Osdale. Falls behind 0-1 to Fulkerson, who picked up strikeout number 46 a moment ago. Had a complete game effort against the Orphans last week, which I believe has 4 or 5 complete games on the season now. Here comes the pitch on the way. Front-footed, this will be in the shallow left field. Williams and Reeves on the run. Reeves will call off Williams. And there you go. So the Maroons stand the runner here in the first, still no score. This is Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
I always thought I knew the reasons why we chose the Medicine Shop here in Mount Vernon as our pharmacy. I mean, they're always so friendly and helpful, and the Medicine Shop is a full-service pharmacy. Then last week I'm talking to my sister and discovered the Medicine Shop offers complete compounding services, just like in the old days when pharmacists took the time to make unique prescriptions just for you. Compounding made it possible for my sister to get her hormone replacement product made right here, and I was able to get a topical cream for pain-filled as well. We were so glad we could get our compounded medications locally and talk face-to-face with a pharmacist. He told us that he works directly with our doctor to make sure we get just the right product for our needs. And the Medicine Shop can compound prescriptions in various forms: capsules, lozenges, creams, even flavored lollipops. Just when I thought I knew all the reasons why we chose the Medicine Shop, I found one more. Give pharmacist Eric Black a call today in Mount Vernon at 618-242-8776.
This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and WMIXsports.com.
WMIX, WMIXsports.com. As we head to the top of the second inning, it will be regulation here for the Rams. Middle of the lineup with Colton Metter, Trevor Flota, and Matthew Williams. We're in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studio. So glad to have you. Chris Hugo, no Danny Zaretsky alongside. Of course, DC is on assignment today. He'll be back with us tomorrow, as the Lady Rams will welcome the Effingham Flaming Hearts to the Cusimano Sports Complex. We'll have them with a 4:15 pregame tomorrow afternoon. Metter gets it started. Of course, I told you Flota and Williams to follow. Here as Jacob Wilson fires a high fastball that misses well high. It'll be 1-0 to Metter. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of the Rams. See Joe David Cummins for a commercial loan at ComFirst. See more online at ComFirstBank.net or find their 5 Jefferson County branches with responsive quality service. This is going to Planko off the head better. Look at the noggin. Appears to be okay, and he'll be aboard. Of course, we saw the Maroons pitching batting practice to each other earlier. They had 3 stations set up, as we told you, and of course, a couple of them had some minor control issues. This happened to be one of the ones. So we kind of wondered coming into the game, without having seen the lineup card yet, how he'd fare once he saw live batters. And a bunt laid down by Flota, first base side. Good play off the mound by Wilson. Had some trouble getting it out of the mitt. Decent transition, though, and Flota will sacrifice the runner over 1-3. So an RBI chance here as Metter's down at second. And that'll bring in Matthew Williams in the number 6 spot today with a runner on, 1 out here in the top of the second. No score yet from West. Get you a scoreboard update here in just a moment. All kinds of baseball and softball across your favorite Withers Broadcasting or Data Communications station. 1 out, 1 on here in the second. Ooh. Williams will try to rip through a fastball, just misses 0-1. You can follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. We're on Facebook as well. We'll put a scoreboard up tonight, as we always do, on WMIXsports.com. We hope you'll enjoy it. We hope you'll check out what has become a great sports source for Southern Illinois. It's going to be a pitch across the plate to Williams, who falls behind here 0-2. Of course, we told you the Rams lost to Mater Dei on Friday 4-0. Just the second time the Rams have been shut out this year, dating back to March 29th against DuQuoin, but clinched the South Southern Conference title with a 6-2 win over Centralia last Tuesday. Here it comes, fouled off. It'll go behind the bleachers, and it'll remain 0-2 to Williams. There's a 14-pitch first inning, of course, for Wilson. Right now it's a 6-pitch inning, so 20 thus far here. Through 1 in the third, and this one's going to miss high to Williams. So a good eye there to make it 1-2 with a runner on second base. 1 out here in the top of the second. Rams and the Maroons are scoreless. Of course, it's become a nice little rivalry. Of course, the Rams play all 3 Belleville teams during the course of the regular season. Of course, won't see any of them in the postseason. We'll tell you more about that in just a moment. As it's inside the Williams, just below the bell, it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, the Crusaders now dipping into 2A. And since the class expansion, of course, both Belleville public schools, of course, have been 4A. So the Rams, for a while at least, won't see the Maroons or the Lancers ever, unless the population really starts to dip here in Belleville and St. Clair County. And, of course, the Crusaders would have to start winning some postseason soon. So this was fouled back by Williams, staying alive here in a 2-2 count. With 1 out in the top half of the second. Ain't no score yet from West High School. The school is probably only about 7 or 8 years old max. Has really kind of hurt the enrollment at Alsop, which is part of why they're in 2A now. Of course, the waiver or the multiplier has been waived for Alsop due to a lack of perceived postseason success. As it's 3-2 and a ball that's pushed offside the plate to the right-handed Williams. Of course, for Alsop, prior to any multiplier, they would have been 2A. They had right around 700 students before the class expansion, probably around 2004, 2005 may have been their max. As Williams will take a pitch high, he'll walk on down to first base, putting 2 on board now for Reeves. As Clayton will stand in with only 1 out here in the top of the second. Of course, right after about the Kevin Lish era, as about the same time that the new West High School opened, enrollment really started to take somewhat of a dive at Alsop. Started to fall down to about single A, and they might have even been in 04 and 05. I've been right around the cutoff at the time, and then, of course, with the multiplier the IHSA introduced prior to class expansion, as the pitch will miss high and tight to Reeves 1-0. Of course, that pushed Alsop back into what was then Class 2A, and then what became 3A. Of course, in order to get the multiplier back onto a private school, they'd have to win, I believe, over a course of 6 years. As the pitch will come to Reeves across the plate, even if the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. You have to win, I believe, a few regionals, a sectional, or get a state trophy, and then you have the multiplier again, and if you don't win anything for 6 years, it's waived. It's pretty convenient for the non-boundary institutions to lose that 165 multipliers. Reeves will take another strike across the plate, falls behind now, 1 ball, 2 strikes, with 2 on here in the second, and only 1 out, and of course Sawyer Harrison ready to rip on deck. Beautiful sunny Monday afternoon here in St. Clair County on the west side of Belleville, the new West High School. Of course, talking about the Crusaders out of the South Southern Conference. Last year for football, at least not this past season, but the season prior, had to borrow both East and West football complexes to play their home games. Rams had to go to Belleville East, while a couple of us here at WMIX Sports filled in on the Centralia broadcast. The Orphans that year had to come to West. Here comes the pitch on the way to Reeves. He'll take it inside, now leaving the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 aboard and only 1 out here in the second, as the Rams try to strike early against the Maroons. This is all brought to you by Community First Bank of the Heartland. With more Jefferson County branches than anyone else, Community First Bank right here at home in Jefferson County with 5 branches. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC and equal housing lender, as Reeves will stay alive by promptly fouling it into the JV field. And now sees a 5-pitch at bat. We'll see pitch number 6 here in just a moment out of the stretch for Jacob Wilson. We told you came in at 3-1. That's 2.69 ERA. Looks like that could change here in a hurry if Reeves gets the right piece of one on a 2-2. Now the stretch it'll come, and it'll miss high. It'll be a full count to plate. Of course, some encouragement coming from the Ram dugout. Rams will start postseason play next week. It's the number 1 seed in the Heron Regional. Look at the winner of Heron and Marion. Of course, Heron, even though they are hosting the regional, the number 5 seed has to travel to the number 4 seed Marion Wildcats on Monday. So Marion, of course, theoretically, quite possibly, might not even see their home field this postseason. But that's how it goes. You got to win some regular season games. They're going to check on the runner Mater, who just gets back in front of a tag by Aaron Meyer. So the umpire gets set, calls for play to resume as he had called time. It'll be Reeves to dig in with 2 on and only 1 out here in the top of the second. No score yet. Glad to have you on WMIX, WMIXsports.com. Wilson's offering will come, and that'll miss low and away. So he has walked the last 2 batters to put the bases loaded for Sawyer Harris. So the Rams hoping for a big at-bat here, and of course we will have a break in the action. Powered by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, as Coach Meyer will come out to talk to his right-handed pitcher, Wilson. Brought to you by the Medicine Shop, where customer service is their top priority, 2339 Broadway at Mount Vernon. Of course, owned by Eric Black, second generation. There's the Medicine Shop. Don't forget about TMS Mobility and Rehab, of course, also for all of your standard and custom mobility needs. On the Twitterverse, at WMIX Sports, of course, we have a YouTube channel, Facebook, all easily accessible from the new WMIXsports.com, where we have archived broadcasts in case you missed a Saturday sports show. Maybe you want to go back and watch a Rams basketball game or find your favorite video highlight, all right there at your fingertips at WMIXsports.com, of course, also with an easily accessible, quick-loading mobile site. And it'll be up to Sawyer Harrison. Bases loaded here in the top of the second. One out, Rams trying to threaten. Here comes the pitch on the way. It's a low fastball, just below the knees, but apparently it was good somewhere. And it's 0-1 to Harris with Hayden Panensky on deck. Talk about a guy who's been on a roll lately, the on-deck batter Panensky. Here comes the offering for Wilson now. Staying out of the stretch with the bases loaded and wrestling enough. We're going to miss by Sawyer, and it's 0-2. Rams stick with the Southwestern Conference motif this week as they head to Edwardsville on Wednesday. 4:15 will be your pregame. Assuming that's a traditional South Central Illinois start time and not a Metro East start time. They usually start at 4:15. A called third strike over the plate to Harrison. Puts 2 outs on the board, and that is the third strikeout this afternoon in the Ram lineup. Third for Wilson, who now has 33 on the year. And that'll bring in Panensky, who has a hot at DH today, batting for the pitcher Fulkerson. Bases loaded here in the second. Rams hate to squander an opportunity here with 2 down. Scoreless ball game, top half of the second inning. Wilson gets out of the lineup. And about belt high over the plate. It's 0-1 to Hayden. Second Chance Auto, one of our fine sponsors, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Now, where you can call and get your credit approved right over the phone without leaving your home. 244-4582 is the 0-1. This is low. And it even counts to the man they call Hey Hey or Hey Papa. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded here in the second with 2 outs. And, of course, Pike on deck as the Rams make their way through the order for the first time here in the second. So Wilson gets set, winds and fires. And this one's going to be front-footed foul towards the first base side. On the run is Bauer. It scoots past the dugout, and that'll just be a loud strike, 1-2. Of course, no scoreboard on the JV field to update you on the progress of that game. At least not that we can see, at least not an easy visual. Bases are loaded here on the varsity diamond. 1-2 count on the batter, Panensky. 2 outs here in the second as the Rams look to strike early. 320 down the line, 375 in the gaps, 400 straightaway center as the Rams try to get something going. And this will be front-footed foul again, this time in the first base. They got good grab by Colin Young, who's ready to go, of course, defensively in the second. Has all his equipment on and made a nice stab with his mitt. Panensky will dig back in as we will do the 1-2 again. Bases loaded here in the second. Rams have an RBI chance, and that's going to miss low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mater on third, Williams on second, and Reeves on first for the Rams. Panensky at the plate, trying to break it open here in the second. The 2-2 on the way, swung on a miss. That'll be the back-to-back strikeouts to end the threat as the Rams strand the bases loaded in the second. Through 1/2, no score. This is Rams Baseball, powered by Xfinity First Bank.
Your spine is a miracle of engineering, so when pain strikes, your body is telling you to get help fast. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois is proud to feature their spine care team. And when there are back problems, pain is always a constant companion. The Orthopedic Center also specializes in pain management, so put our spine care team on the job. Find out more online at orthocenter-si.com. Stop the pain, fix the problem, and enjoy life again. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank, asking why you bank with Community First Bank. Is it knowing your deposits are also vital to home loans in Jefferson County and our local economy? Is it having your choice of convenient locations and ATMs? Is it seeing a staff of friendly faces you recognize as your neighbors? These are all reasons enough to count, though you only need one, and we are honored you chose us. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
WMIX, WMIXsports.com as we head to the home half of the second inning. Parker Biney, Brennan Sake, and Austin Bammer for the Maroons represent 5, 6, and 7 in the Belleville West lineup to face Brock Fulkerson with no score as we head to the bottom of the second. If you're just joining us, Rams stranded to the bases loaded in the top half. And, of course, the first pitch strike to Parker Bainey. Keeping you updated on the Twitterverse, of course, WMIX Sports. I should say at WMIX Sports. You want to follow us a little bit easier. Or head to twitter.com/WMIX Sports should you not want to download an app, or become a member of Twitter. 0-2 quickly on a foul ball down the third base side by Biney. Sake and Bammer to follow. Donnie Foster should anybody get aboard. Asphalt looks to wheel and deal here in the home half. Pitches on the way. Took something off. It could blocked by Young, and it's quickly 1-2. Well, pitch first inning, of course, by Fulkerson. Of course, his counterpart Wilson threw 27 pitches, now sits at 41 as he will head in the third. Ground ball right side, picked up by Flota. Fires over to first base, and an easy 4-3 as your first out. So the Rams will take that. And of course, we need to get you a scoreboard update. We'll do that in just a moment. Don't forget our friends at All Stars and Stitches. Just west of Benton High School, call 435-5555. You can put a logo on it. All Stars and Stitches can probably print it, including banners, signs, promotional products, and even apparel. So then, Lyndon Sake, the left field. I believe played center last year as he'll swing and miss the first pitch, and that's 0-1 with Bammer on deck. No score. Here in the bottom of the second inning with one out, nobody aboard for Belleville West. They wear all white with white hats, white helmets, of course, maroon socks, and some maroon trim, about the only maroon outside of white that you'll see. Of course, one of our pet peeves here at WMIX Sports. Even count a 1-1 as that misses low. Fulkerson has a wind-up. We'll get a foul ball down the first base side, and it's 1-2. Of course, a release point issue, apparently, as they try to get it back to the catcher, Young. On a foul ball from the coaching staff. 1-2 count, nobody on, one out here in the bottom of the second inning. No score yet for Belleville West. The wind's starting to blow in. Here comes. Ground ball, could be up the middle. Nope, good stop. Good range there by Williams. Fires over to first. It's 6-3 as your second out. So the middle infield, solid as always for the Rams. Of course, you got a lot of compliments from Tim Holloway this past Saturday on the Saturday Sports Show. In case you missed it, log on to WMIXSports.com. Get caught up with all things Rams baseball, Lady Rams softball. We talked Lady Rams soccer. We also talked Rams football, and, of course, the IHSA heat acclimatization policy with Jared Shaner. We talked to new Red Devils head basketball coach Shane Garner on the show. This is all Saturday, and you can find the archive now at WMIXSports.com. The first pitch that misses to Bammer, and the West catcher gets ahead 1-0. Fulkerson gets set, quickly fires, works quickly always, and gets Bammer out in front to even the count at 1-1. 2 outs and nobody aboard here in the second. Belleville West half, and of course there's no score yet. No score yet as that's going to hit Bammer in the back and put a runner aboard. Anyhow, no score yet in Centralia as the Alney East Richland Tigers come to town. That's after 1. A scoreboard update presented by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. For all of your insurance financial service needs, see Tony Wilt in town. Find him online at TonyWilt.com. Or look for that white State Farm Jeep around the community. It's always visible. It's like a roaming business card. You can find all of Tony's contact information on the aforementioned white Jeep. 2 outs and a runner on now for West. Thought we heard some Macklemore in the background there for a second. As the third baseman, Donnie Foster will stand in. Here in the second, bottom half with no score. Runners going. This will be inside for a strike. As the courtesy runner made it down to second base. So 0-1 here to Foster. The pitcher Wilson on deck with a chance to help out his cause. RBI chances, the runner swipes the second base back. John Dozier, of course, is the courtesy runner. So Fulkerson will call time and regroup as the wind is starting to blow towards west. It might be blowing in slightly. As he'll check on the runner, and at the throw not bounce, might have had a chance of getting him. But it's a late tag. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. No score for the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios. Driven by King City Chrysler Center. Of course, your Jeep headquarters in Southern Illinois. The 2014 is already starting to roll in. Find out which ones are available now at KingCityChrysler.com. Fulkerson looks back to the runner on second. Fires home. Gets a bender in there. And it'll be an 0-2 count here on Foster. Well, just like that, the Rams are a strike away from possible trouble here in the bottom of the second. And keeping this one scoreless, trying to keep the Goose Eggs going. Of course, the Rams have stranded 3 base runners today with no hits. Pitch and round is going to be tapped foul to the backstop, and we'll do it again on 0-2. 14 pitches in the inning thus far for Brock. Brings his pitch count to about 26. after 12 in the first inning. So gets set here, nothing into the count, 2 outs here in the second, no score. Dozier, the runner, of course, is on second, replacing the catcher Mammer. Front-footed, it'll be to short, could be triple. Nope, good hop for Williams, fires across the diamond, and a good grab by Colton Metter. So West Strand's the runner here in the second. We are through 2, no score. This is Rams Baseball from WMIX Sports.
How do the best continue to get better? Hi, this is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. We're no different than any team. When you're at the top of your game, the best want to play for you. That's why, with the addition of our new shop foreman and the rest of our body shop crew, Landers now has a combined experience of over 70 years in dealing with the best parts and repair finishes on the market. This means when you walk into Landers, you can breathe a little easier knowing that your vehicle will receive the best quality repair by the best certified technicians within a reasonable amount of time. Again and again, we work directly with most insurance companies and have loaners and rental vehicles on site for your convenience. We're proud to not only be the standard, but to keep raising the bar in collision repair. Come meet the staff, take a tour of our facilities, and get to know the Landers crew that Landers Collision has so proudly acquired. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. Give us a call, 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
You're listening to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
And we welcome you back to West High School, the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios. We head to the top of the third. It'll be the top of the order due up for the Rams with Jake Pike, Landon Thomas, and Colin Young. We are scoreless here at West. Rams and Maroons have both stranded their fair share of base runners. The Rams have no runs, no hits, no errors, 3 left on base. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. For Belleville West here as we head to the top of the third inning. It'll be Pike to get us started. The pitcher, of course, Wilson, is back out for another inning. And we'll see what happens. We met the West defense a moment ago. Might refresh your memory on them here in just a moment. As the pitcher Wilson gets set, the right-hander out of the windup misses high. And it is 1-0. No score here in the top of the third inning. Glad to have you with us, WMIX and WMIXSports.com. If you're looking for WMIX News at 5, you'll flip over to 94.1 FM. Ground ball slapped to the right side. Ooh, and a missed play by the first baseman. Still gets the throw off. Question is going to be as Pike stumbles across the bag, and he looks to be okay. But still a pretty good play by the first baseman to recover. Pitcher got over there in time, and that'll be the first out of the inning as Pike appears to be okay. So 1 out and nobody on. Landon Thomas will stand in. Singled his last time, tried to stretch it into 2 bags after a missed play by the center fielder, and he'll take a first pitch low. Looks like it missed for a ball. As we are here in the top of the third, here comes another pitch, misses high and away. Should be a 2-out count unofficially. Here on LC. Try to get some scores from around the area here in just a moment. As this one will be bouncing. 2-1 here to Thomas. Nobody on and 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Rams and the, you want to call them the Lancers, though I know better. They are the Mighty Maroons. Says so on top of their dugout. I don't know why I've always got those 2 schools mixed up, East and West. This one's going to be through the legs, of course, of the catcher. It'll be 3 balls and a strike here to Thomas. Community First Bank of the Heartland. See Joe and Joy for residential loan at Community First Bank. Find out more at townfirstbank.net. Community First Bank, welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lenders. This one is going to be sitting in the left field. No problem by Brendan Sake, and that'll be the second out. Rams are trying to avoid going 1, 2, 3 at the top of the order for the second time today, as that'll bring in Colin Young with the bases empty and 2 outs. Here in the top of the third. Hard to believe, but no score yet for Belleville West. Both pitchers pitching very effectively thus far. 41 pitches coming into the inning, of course, though, for Jacob Wilson, who has already seen the top of the order for a second time today. Here comes the first pitch out of the windup, and a good pitch across the plate to Young, 0-1. 4 strikeouts thus far for the pitcher, Wilson. That's 34 on the season, has walked quite a few, though. Walked about 25. Pitch coming. It's going to be a foul tip, and it's 0-2. No score, top three for just joined us. Got started about 8 minutes early today as Wilson gets set, fires, and Young's going to get a piece of this and lifts it in the left. Snake won't have to move very far, and he'll make the grab. 1, 2, 3 go the Rams here in the third through 2.5. It's no score. This is Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank, asking why you bank with Community First Bank. Is it knowing your deposits are also vital to home loans in Jefferson County and our local economy? Is it having your choice of convenient locations and ATMs? Is it seeing a staff of friendly faces you recognize as your neighbors? These are all reasons enough to count, though you only need one, and we are honored you chose us. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Startup businesses, and they come in the door, they're pretty green.
Randy Atkinson, owner of Heartland Accounting, on why he is a small business expert.
I have had businesses where I've talked to people in their garage and have grown it to work in 3 states. There's a lot of tremendous opportunity to help people from the very inception of their business, whether it's just talking about what does it take to become successful, what sorts of things do we need to stay legal. I feel very qualified to help people get to where they want to be. I've had that experience and have helped that situation become successful.
Heartland Accounting, 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B.
Listen to us from any device at WMIXsports.com. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
And we welcome you back on AM 940 WMIX Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting, top of the 5 o'clock hour. Chris Hugo with you on the road at Belleville West. Danny Zerwinski is on assignment. Jesse Clark is back at our Mount Vernon studio. 9-1 and 2 due up for West. We're scoreless heading into the bottom of the third. And Fulkerson will fire a first pitch low for a strike to Wilson, his counterpart, for 0-1. As the foul ball rolls back this way from the JV diamond, how comforting. As the 0-1 comes, it'll be tapped down. It'll be 0-2 here to Wilson with Sherrills and Bauer to follow. Here in the home half of the third inning. You can follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. We appreciate all of you who do that thus far. We'll get you some scores here in just a moment from the Twitterverse. Here comes the 0-2, bounces in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So no runs, no hits. 3 left aboard for the Rams. No runs on 1 hit, but 2 left aboard for West as we're scoreless here in the bottom of the third. Fulk gets set, fires 1 low and away, and that'll even the count at 2-2. He has 28 pitches coming into the inning. Make that 32 now with a 2-2 count. So in postseason action today, I'll tell you more about that in a second, as this will be swung on a miss, and that'll be strikeout number 2 today for Fulkerson. Double checking that. Yep, that'll raise his total to 47. Let's see. High school softball today in the postseason. The Benton Rangerettes lead Waltonville Cesarolier 5-0 heading into the third. Also in baseball, the Woodlawn, of course, this is a regular season game. Bunt laid down. Third base side, it rolls foul. Good attempt there by the speedy Sherrills, and that'll be 0-1. Of course, in Woodlawn today, Nashville leads the Cardinals 3-0 after 2. That game on Sister Station B1047. Triad and Alton are scoreless in the bottom of the third, of course, in regular season baseball. Also in the regular season yet, the Orphans and Alnir scoreless after 2. More about Tony Wilt here in just a moment after the 0-1. Catches the outside corner. Good pitch there by Fulkerson. It's 0-2. Of course, Tony Wilt wants to handle all of your financial and insurance needs. Find him online at TonyWilt.com. Look for the White State Farm Keep around town. Or stop at his office anytime at the corner of 42nd South Water Tower and get you a better steak. Ground ball, right side. Good play by Flota. Went to his right, made a tough play, throws across the body, and the 4-3 is your second out. Kind of understated just how tough that play was going to be. Had to shuffle the feet to his right, had to go across his body to get the grab and make the throw. And without getting twisted and all turn, he was able to make a great throw to first base for the second out. That'll bring in Adam Bauer, who grounded out to first his last time. See what the lefty does here. The Rams trying to get the Maroons to go 1-2-3 here in the home half of the third. Pitch on the way by Fulk is going to miss in the dirt. 1-0. Next pitch will be pitch number 10 of this third inning. Still no score from West, of course. Quite a ways from the King City when you compare it to Althoff or even Belleville East. Of course, that goes without saying on a pitch that might have been foul tipped. 1-1. Remained looking up when the umpire makes his signals and his mechanics. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, 2 out here at the bottom of the third. Pitch on the way. It's going to be tapped foul toward the first base dugout. It'll be 1-2. Really, no other scores to report as yet. We'll work hard to get you some more. Here it comes. It's going to be pushed outside off of the plate to the left-handed bat, 2-2. Good from where we sit. Of course, I can't really see the plate with all the dirt over it now. I really need to stop throwing balls and strikes. 2-2 coming. It's going to be a ground ball first base side. Good grab by Colton. He'll step on the bag, and 3 unassisted for a second time today for Bauer. This time it ends the third. 1-2-3 go the Maroons. No score. This is Rams Baseball presented by Xfinity First Bank.
I always thought I knew the reasons why we chose the Medicine Shop here in Mount Vernon as our pharmacy. I mean, they're always so friendly and helpful, and the Medicine Shop is a full-service pharmacy. Then last week I'm talking to my sister and discovered the Medicine Shop offers complete compounding services, just like in the old days when pharmacists took the time to make unique prescriptions just for you. Compounding made it possible for my sister to get her hormone replacement product made right here, and I was able to get a topical cream for pain-filled as well. We were so glad we could get our compounded medications locally and talk face-to-face with the pharmacist. He told us that he works directly with our doctor to make sure we get just the right product for our needs. And the Medicine Shop can compound prescriptions in various forms: capsules, lozenges, creams, even flavored lollipops. Just when I thought I knew all the reasons why we chose the Medicine Shop, I found one more. Give pharmacist Eric Black a call today in Mount Vernon at 618-242-8776.
Back to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
And we'll get back to Belleville West as we head to the top of the fourth inning for the Rams. It'll be 4-5 and 6-2 up with Colton Mater, Trevor Flota, and Matthew Williams, barring any changes in the Ram lineup. Scoreboard update: Alton leads Triad now heading to the fourth. High score of 1-0. Of course, the Rams beat Alton, but lost to Triad. Of course, pitching matchups. And not trying to reveal too much the last week of the regular season. We're not sure who's pitching for either side that Alton Triad game, but it's not over yet. Plenty of time to be had there. We'll tell you more about our scoreboards throughout the game. Of course, this is Rams Baseball. We'll look for Urban Lake College player of the game in our post-game show. Urban Lake College can save you thousands on your college education. Log on to rlc.edu to find out how. Here's Mater to stand in. The right-hander swings and misses at a fastball. Falls behind 0-1. Was hit the batter. I think the noggin his last time, right off the helmet. And was stranded on third base back in the second. The Rams haven't had a base runner since. Of course, we're just in the fourth. Here comes another. That's going to get away. It hits the backstop. So 1-1 to Colton. Trevor Flota out to get it. Back in the lineup today for Tim Holloway. More of a normal lineup. Of course, got some different individuals, some starts on Friday at Mater Dei. As the 1-1's in the dirt, 2 balls at the strike. As Mater gets just underneath it as he lifts it up in the right field. On the run is the right fielder, James. He'll make the grab for the first out. 53 pitches coming into the inning, of course, for Jacob Wilson. Just making his 4th start this year, though he carries the 3-1 mark. And that 2.69 ERA has lowered quite a bit. Probably closer to being around about 2.52 at the moment. One out, the base is empty, and he'll step Trevor Flota. Sacrifices last time with a great bunt. Here comes. Takes it low. It's a 1-0 count. Williams on deck for the Rams, trying to make something happen. Offense at a premium thus far. As we're in the top of the fourth with no score. The Rams are back in action on Wednesday. They'll come back here this way, of course, except they'll head a little bit north to Edwardsville. As Flota will put one into right field for a base hit. So the Rams get their first hit of the afternoon as the right fielder tries for the out anyway, but that was going to be a base hit through and through for T-Flow. And that'll bring up Matthew Williams with a runner on first and one out here in the fourth, and Clayton Reeves on deck. 8-1-1 is where the Rams finished in the South Southern Conference, good enough for first place. Australia and Carbondale, I believe, both have 3 losses in the loss column. Of course, Australia and Carbondale still have to play each other. They'll make that one up on Thursday. Originally, it was supposed to be played way back in April. Tried again last Thursday, and now we'll try again this Thursday. Tap down the third base side. A good play, good charge by Donnie Foster to make the play. 5-3 will be your second out, but it advances Flota on down to second. So to bring in Clayton Reeves. 2 outs and an RBI chance here in the fourth of a scoreless ball game on the road at West. Of course, the Rams are able to return home on Saturday. We told you they had Edwardsville on Wednesday, but they'll have a doubleheader, weather permitting, of course, against Highland on Saturday, which also serves as graduation day. In case you can't make it to graduation, or maybe it's rain, I don't want to say rained out, but maybe rain pushes in Shagnon. You can't get a ticket. You can watch it online at WMIXsports.com or WMIX94.com as Reeves will send one foul to the first base dugout for 0-1. We are on the Twitterverse at WMIX Sports. You can find us on Facebook as well. Of course, Sarah Staley, one of our fine sponsors, a booster sponsor, Country Financial. What's your idea of financial security? Get a one-on-one relationship with your Country Financial agent of Mount Vernon, Sarah Staley. As it's a pitch across the outside corner to Reeves, who falls behind, 0-2. So 2 outs and the runner on here in the 4th. Rams and the Maroons scoreless, but the Rams do get their first base hit here in the 4th, so that at least breaks that up. Wilson concerned with the lead runner on second, the only runner, and this will be a foul tip into the middle of the catcher who hangs off. So the Rams stranded another runner. They've stranded 4 thus far through 3.5. No score. This is Rams Baseball from WMIX Sports.
It happens every spring. You need a great quality, new-to-you vehicle. There's a reason why Second Chance Auto has been helping put families into affordable, dependable vehicles for over 32 years. Honest, fair deals. Ain't nothing fancy, just great vehicles with warranties. Honest deals and bank rate financing for all. That's the only way Second Chance Auto will do business. And you don't even have to leave your home to get credit approval. Call Second Chance Auto at 244-4582 and get pre-approved right over the phone. They know bad things can happen to good people. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon.
Startup businesses, and they come in the door, they're pretty green.
Randy Atkinson, owner of Heartland Accounting, on why he is a small business expert.
I have had businesses where I've talked to people in their garage and have grown it to work in 3 states. There's a lot of tremendous opportunity to help people from the very inception of their business, whether it's just talking about what does it take to become successful, what sorts of things do we need to stay legal. I feel very qualified to help people get to where they want to be. I've had that experience and have helped that situation become successful.
Heartland Accounting, 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B.
Back to the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
And we welcome you back, WMIX AM, WMIXsports.com, as we head to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 to up for the Maroons. Aaron Meyer, Nick Van Ossdale, and, of course, Parker Biney. 42nd pitch of the game on the way. It's going to be a bunt drop down foul, third base side for 0-1 to Aaron Meyer. So Fulkerson has thrown 41 pitches. But by comparison, after the 4th inning, it's been 63 pitches by his counterpart Wilson of the Maroons. So Meyer, Van Ossdale, Biney, we'll see stakes should anybody get aboard. And both teams not finding much offense here today on a beautiful Monday afternoon in Belleville. Out of the windup will come Fulkerson, gets set, winds and fires, and it's going to be a pitch just pushed off of the plate. And it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. WMIX Sports Mobile Studios are driven by Ford Square, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, online at FordSquare.com. And this one's online to go deep. It'll turn Reeves around the left field and bounce about the base of the fence. It'll be a double, maybe more, for Aaron Meyer. And it'll be limited to an extra base hit of the double variety here at the leadoff 4th. Certainly not what you wanted if you're the Rams. You give an RBI chance here to Nick Van Ossdale, the cleanup batter. This is the 2nd hit today, believe it or not, for West. Of course, both teams have stranded all of their base runners today. Nothing has crossed the plate yet, but West looking to change that. Off the bat of the dangerous Nick Van Ossdale, who flew out to left his last time. Fulkerson looks in, ready for the sign. He'll switch the stretch here with the runner aboard. Nobody out in the 4th. It's 1 in the dirt. It'll be 1-0. Good stop there by Young. Community First Bank of the Heartland. Your community, your bank. Your community, your choice, your bank. 5 locations. And friends and neighbors on staff will understand your needs. Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Fulkerson will step off of the rubber. Pitching more off of the first base side. The right-hander gets set, brings his hand and his glove together. Here comes the pitch on the way. Fastball blown by, and that'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Postseason action, of course, the Rams will play the winner of Heron and Marion next Wednesday. That'll be at Johnson Field. We'll have every pitch of that one. We'll have every pitch of any possible Rams postseason run, including what we hope will be a regional championship next Saturday at 11 o'clock, as this one will be a ground ball to short behind the runner, so he goes to third. And it'll be a 6-3 over the first, but it advances the runner to third base, and so the go-ahead run 90 feet closer here for the Maroons in the bottom of the 4th inning. Of course, should the Rams win the Heron Regional, and of course the number 1 seed on paper, many expect them to do just that. They would play again, I believe, on Wednesday the 29th at the Effingham Sectional, which will actually be at the Effingham Park for that game. The rest of the games in the Effingham sectional will be played at the high school, so if the Rams should happen to win on the 29th, but play for a sectional title on June the 1st. Of course, not to get ahead of themselves here, we have Belleville West on a Monday afternoon with a runner on third here in the fourth and one out of a scoreless ball game. And in steps to number 5, batter Biney, the DH, who swings and misses the fastball, 0-1. Scores rolling in. We'll get you some more updates throughout this one. Bottom of the fourth, no score. Rams trying not to give up a run here with a runner on third and only one out here in the home half. JV game going on behind us. Of course, the Rams have had a very successful JV season. Picked up a couple more wins on Saturday against O'Fallon. Took something off at that time. Swung a miss on a pitch low. It's 0-2 here to Biney, who grounded out to second his last time. That led off the second. So 0-2, one out. Of course, if you're Fulkerson, you'd love the strikeout here. Here it comes. It's going to be in the dirt. Good stop by Young. It's through his right. It's coming, and they are not going to get the runner. Needed a little bit of help on that. Nobody really told him where the ball was, at least not in a relative direction. And so a run will get across the plate. West takes a 1-0 lead on what was a leadoff double by Meyer. He advanced on the ground out to short. That, of course, comes in on a wild pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes with one out here in the fourth. Of course, now you kind of relax slightly, and it's going to be a curveball that misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Biney. Trying to get a chase on a pitch a moment ago that bounced off the plate. Trying to keep it in front, just not much that can be done. And this will be swung and a miss, so strike 3 might come a bit too late in this at bat, but in the 1-0 ball game, I think you'll take that. Now his base is empty. And that'll be 2 outs for Brendan's sake. Third strikeout of the day for Fulkerson. Of course, in a game like this, 1-0 could seem like 4 or 5-0 when it's all said and done. His sake will get some instruction from Coach Meyer out of the third base box. He grounded out to short his last time. That was the second out of the second inning. So in the Johnson City Softball Regional, Harrisburg leads Hamilton County 3-0 after 3 innings. On the base, or no, still on the softball side at a regional. Of course, Benton leads Waltonville Cesar-Lear, I believe, 5-0 in the third. Of course, we'll give you more baseball scores here in just a moment. On a pitch, the miss is low, of course, to Sake. He gets ahead here 1-0. Scoreboard updates are powered by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. For all your insurance financial service needs, see Tony in his office. Look online at TonyWilt.com or try to find the white State Farm people around town. It was tapped foul through the 5-hole. Young with the backstop. Gets scooped by Foster with the helmet. And we'll get the 1-1 here in the dirt, and a good stop by Young. 2 balls and a strike. Bammer, of course, the catcher, with the pads on, is on deck. Should this inning stay alive? 12%, of course, the pitch count getting up there, but right about 55 pitches. Here it comes. Swung on a miss. Not even the count of 2. Low end just a little bit. Next one on the way. We pop foul. It'll be behind us. And the count remains 2-2. Hoping for our first chance at a foul ball this year, but didn't happen. Of course, probably didn't want any piece of that. Asia West going to be back with us tomorrow. Lady Rams softball against Effingham. It'll be at the Cusimano Sports Complex, 4:15 your pregame. And this will be a ground ball to short. Should be a crowd for Williams. Picks it up, fires over to first. So that will get the Rams out of this inning, but not before West takes a 1-0 lead. This is Rams Baseball from WMIX Sports.
America is a nation on wheels. Everyone has at least one automobile. We use them for shopping, work, everything we do. But they can be a threat. Some accidents can't be prevented. Your professional Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview and Mount Vernon, can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. Call Page Insurance today at 242-7000 about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Ask them about the many money-saving discounts that are available. Depend on your hometown professionals.
Pekin Insurance.
I'm Andy Robb with a look at your next rad weather. This afternoon, partly sunny skies, pleasant and warm, high 69. For tonight, clear skies, low 52. Partly sunny and warm tomorrow, high 86. Tuesday night, clear skies, low 62. Warm with clouds and sun on Wednesday with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, high 86. Showers and a thunderstorm Thursday, high 78. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Find us on Facebook under WMIX Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
We head to the top of the fifth for the Rams, who trail 1-0 now. It'll be 8-9-1 due up. Sawyer Harrison, Nate Paninsky, and Jake Pike. And there was action in the West bullpen, though they're going to give another inning to Jacob Wilson, who has 63 pitches thus far. As we head this important fifth inning, Sawyer Harrison, Nate Paninsky, Jake Pike with Landon Thomas. Should anyone get aboard here, the Rams have the fifth. The winds are starting to gust in from center field. Really optional thus far. No runs, 1 hit, 4 stranded for the Rams. Of course, error-free baseball thus far. 1 run on 2 hits with 2 left aboard for the Maroons here as we head to the top of the fifth. First pitch fouled off, and it is 0-1 here to Harris. Second Chance Auto, one of our great sponsors. Find them at on Route 142 in Mount Vernon. Of course, you can see about getting your credit approved right over the phone. 244-4582. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Proud supporters of Rams Athletics. 0-1's going to miss high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Harrison. With Hayden Paninsky on deck as we are in the top half of the fifth of a 1-0 ball game. Pitch in route's going to miss low. Good eye there with the guy they call Soggy. And it is 2-1. Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Dix, Woodlawn, and Ina continues to expand in Jefferson County. Find them online at comfirstbank.net. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. This will turn Harrison's shoulder in, and he'll get ahead 3 balls and a strike with Paninsky on deck. The Rams lost the scoreless tie in the bottom half of the fourth. A leadoff double by Aaron Meyer. And then a round out to put the runner on third. The wild pitch allows them to get home. Black communication haunted the Rams there. Nobody was telling the catcher Young where the ball was. Made it difficult to find, and it ended up with Meyer crossing the plate. So that's the difference here. And a foul ball makes it a full count, 3-2. Out of the windup comes the offering, and that's going to be high and tight to Harrison, and a leadoff walk might just be what the Rams need. You're at inning number 5. Of course, we'll look for a Red Lake College player of the game in this one. Red Lake College can save you thousands in your college education. Log on to rlc.edu to find out how, or see which of the more than 100 degree and certificate programs is right for you. Oh, here we are, top of the fifth. Rams with a tying run on first and nobody out in the fifth. Paninsky will stand in, had a hot bat as of late. Going to put a bunt down the first base side, picked up by the pitcher. Good grab by Wilson. Fires over to first. Covering was the first baseman Bauer, so that'll go down as 1-3. A good bunt there. Was trying to get on. Did it down the first base side on what was a great bunt by Paninsky, and that'll make it an RBI chance for Jake Pike here at the top of the order with 1 out. Of course, we're at the 70 pitch mark now. For the starting hurler, Jacob Wilson, the right-hander, of course, down the stretch with a runner on second, 1 out here in the fifth. As Pike gets set, and he'll look one high and away. The left-hander gets ahead here, 1-0. All Stars and Stitches, one of our great sponsors. Going to do it without them. See McDade for all your printing needs at All Stars and Stitches, just west of Benton High School, or call 435-5555. Off the plate, about belt high to Pike. And the junior will get ahead here 2-0. So we'll have a meeting at the mound. This break in the action, of course, will be presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon, where customer service is their top priority. Of course, there's action in the West bullpen. Get a look at whom that is. Looks like maybe Matt Klosterman. So a right-hander in the bullpen for the Maroons. We'll see if this will be all she wrote, or if this is just going to be time to give Klosterman some time to warm up. That's exactly what it's going to be. We'll get back to the action. 2-0 count here on the batter, Pike, the leadoff batter. 1 out and 1 on. Runner on second base, a tying run for the Rams, who trail 1-0 here in the top of the fifth. Rams could use this run to cross the plate and really help out the effort for Brock Fulkerson, who's looking for his 9th win. Of course, the Rams are meanwhile looking for win number 25. This is a tough part of the season here for the Orange and Black. Swung through on 2-0, is high. It's 2-1 now to Pike. You can follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. As always, we are online at WMIXsports.com with easy access to our Facebook as well as our YouTube channel. 2 balls and a strike. Here comes the Pike across the plate. That'll even the count at 2-2. Great pitch that time by Jacob Wilson. Stands 3-1 in the year. He's looking for win number 4. West is looking for their 18th. Of course, they have a busy week. It could get to 35. Actually, they'll be just short. Pitch coming. This is going to be fouled off. Good defensive swing there. And the count stays 2-2 to Pike, as that is well over the third baseman. So 5-pitch at bat thus far. Klosterman continues to warm in the bullpen for the Maroons. As the pitch count continues to rise here for the starter Wilson. Out of the stretch he'll come. Pike's going to send this one into center. Sherrills will give chase and will make the grab in left center field. This one will not advance Harrison, and it'll be allowed second out. So had the right idea, but it hung up in the air just a little too long. It'll be up to Landon Thomas to keep the inning alive. So we'll see what LT can do here with Young on deck and a runner on second. Tying run here in the 5th. The Rams trail Belleville West by a score of 1-0 if you're just joining us. Scoreless through 3.5. Bottom of the 4th with a leadoff double ended up haunting the Rams. As LT took the first pitch, looked low to me. I didn't see it, to be honest. It should be a 1-0 count, 2 gone. Tying run on second here for the Rams in the top of the 5th inning. You're on the road at West. Here comes low. Should be 2 balls with no strikes. Of course, West heads to Granite City tomorrow, and then they'll wrap up conference play on Thursday at Collinsville. The trip to Carbondale in between. They'll head down Route 13, as this one will be fouled off by Thomas. It'll be 2-1. Of course, that's not all. We'll take on another South 7 Conference team Friday as they welcome the Cahokia Comanches. And then wrap it up with Mississippi Valley play on Saturday as they will bring in Triad and Waterloo, and all those teams will meet up on each other 2 times. Strike inside. The county was up 2 balls, 2 strikes to Thomas. Young on deck for the Rams, trying to tie this one up with an RBI chance at second base and 2 outs here in the 5th. It's a 1-0 ball game. That leadoff doubles been the difference for West. This will be a foul ball. Young will pick it up outside the on-deck circle and fire back to the pitcher. Down stays 2-2 as we do it again. We bottom of the order due up in the home half of the 5th for West. Rams, of course, just starting to get to the meat of the lineup and really need to make something happen here if they can. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This is wild here in the 5th as Thomas will get a piece of it to stay alive. We'll do it again. Of course, our coverage is pretty chaotic the rest of the week. Lady Rams softball tomorrow. Rams baseball at Edwardsville on Wednesday. Thursday off. Friday, it's Lady Rams softball against Salem on the road. And then Saturday, the Rams will welcome in the Highland Bulldogs for 2. And then after that, we bring you video streaming of the class 2013 graduation on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Either of our websites, WMIX94.com or WMIXsports.com, all brought to you by Red Lake College. So 2-2 the count. Behind on the ball on the scoreboard. 2 outs here in the 5th. Here comes Thomas is going to lift one, slicing into the left center. Sherrills, will make the grab. And that'll do it for the Rams through 5 as they strand another runner. Still 1-0 West. This is Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins. You did it. It's graduation day, and you've got that feeling beyond compare. From kindergarten to graduation, your day-to-day efforts have been your first long-term investment. Community First Bank extends congratulations along with a promise. In the coming year, we will increase our community scholarship dollars to encourage graduation goals across Jefferson County and further invest in our community. Like us on Facebook to learn more. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Are you interested in a career in the culinary arts but can never afford the high cost of cooking school? Red Lake College has a low-cost recipe for success. For as little as $5,500 per year, you can get a quality culinary arts education in your own backyard. That even includes books, tuition, class fees, and supplies. Learn to master domestic fare, pastry, and foreign cuisine in Ina, Illinois. Save thousands on a culinary arts education at Red Lake College. For more information, log on to rlc.edu/culinary arts.
This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and WMIXsports.com.
And we welcome you back to WMIX, WMIXsports.com, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland, with 5 Jefferson County branches. And responsive quality service for all of your accounts. Community First Bank welcomes you back to personal banking. Member FDIC. Quick scoreboard update. Triad trails out 4-0 after 4. Let's see about all we have, as it will be Bamber to start it off. And this one is going to be a great play by the Rams defensively, and that'll be your first down. Did not see it. Trying to get you some scores. 4-3 will be the ruling on that one. As the Rams trying to get through this fifth inning and head to the sixth, where they will have 3, 4, and 5 to up, trailing 1-0. Of course, more scores. Flora leads Salem 2-0 in baseball. Centralia led, I believe, Albany after 3, 6-0. And we'll get some softball here in just a moment. Good pitch there to Donnie Foster, who's 0-1 today. For a strike, it will be 0-1. 1 out, nobody aboard. Bottom of the fifth. West on top by a score of 1-0. Don't forget to stay up to date on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Took something off at that time. Pulled the string, 0-2, as Foster was well out front. So 1 out, nobody on. Of course, that scoreboard out there is brought to you by Tony Wilp, State Farm Insurance. For all of your insurance and financial service needs, see Tony in Mount Vernon, or better yet, just look for that white State Farm Jeep around town. Or you can log on to TonyWilt.com. 0-2, here it comes. It's going to be low and away. Waste pitch that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Foster. Here with Jacob Wilson on deck. 62 pitches thus far for Fulkerson. Here comes 63. Ooh, good stop there by Young. He'll fire down the first base outside the bag. That will be strikeout number 4 for Fulkerson. This next one will be 50. And that'll bring in Jacob Wilson, the pitcher. Be interested to see how much longer they let him go. Of course, 84 pitches. It's somewhat of a pitcher's duel, if you will, here in a 1-0 ball game. And he will rip the first one through the right side. If I can get to it, I might have a play. He will not. I got just enough in the grass to slow it down, and that'll be a 2-out single. And that'll bring Alex Sharos, of course, who is 1 for 2 today. Singled and was stranded in the first. Ground out to second a second time. See what he does here in the fifth in a 1-0 ball game. Of course, the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios are driven by Ford Square, 1501 Broadway, or schedule your service appointment online at FordSquare.com. 1-0, here it comes. This one's going to be a liner to Williams on the ground. He'll pick it up and fire over to first. And the Maroons strand a runner here in the fifth. Through 5, it's 1-0 Belleville West. This is Rams Baseball from WMIX Sports.
State Farm, this is Jessica.
Hey, Jessica, Jerry Newman. Does State Farm offer more discounts to more drivers?
Yep, like the good driver discount.
So it's for good, but not great drivers.
No, Jerry. There's also the multi-line discount.
For calling from multiple lines while driving.
You should never use a phone while driving.
I only make calls from my car when I'm stuck in a ditch or something.
Are you in a ditch?
Yes, I am.
State Farm offers more discounts to more drivers than any other insurance company. Get to a better state.
One more reason to call State Farm agent Tony Wilton Mount Vernon at 242-1421.
The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois welcomes Dr. Beth Conrarty to their medical staff. Dr. Conrarty specializes in comprehensive pain management using a multidisciplinary team approach by working with other specialists for optimal diagnosis and treatment of pain. Dr. Conrarty will treat most conditions of the spine, including management of cancer pain. Dr. Beth Conrarty, helping to make life better day after day at the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois in Mount Vernon. Call 618-242-3778.
Find us on Facebook under WMIX Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And we head to the top of the sixth inning here from West. Glad to have you with us, courtesy of Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, 5 Jefferson County branches, Mount Vernon, Dix, Woodlawn, and Ina. Of course, you can visit them online at ComFirstBank.net. For the Rams, will be 3, 4, and 5 to up. Needed the order here in this top half of the sixth. They trail 6-0. And of course, we told you your new pitcher a moment ago as he was warming up in the bullpen. It'll be Matt Klosterman, who comes on in relief here in the sixth. So no runs on just 1 hit for the Rams. They stranded 5. They could just get some of those across the plate. Of course, it would have changed the complexion of this game, but not a bad effort by Wilson on the mound. Stands to be the victor at this point as he went 5 strong, allowed only a hit. We'll get you the rest of his numbers here in just a moment. He walked 4 and struck out 5. That'll bring in Colin Young. Of course, Colin today has struck out and flew out to left field, back to the third. And it's probably due as we head to this top of the sixth with West on top by a score, of course, as we told you, 1-0. It's been a leadoff double back to the fourth by Aaron Meyer, who later came around to score after a ground ball by Van Osdale advanced him to third. Came around on a wild pitch, and that's been the difference thus far. So Matt Klosterman, of course, is the new pitcher. Not many details to speak of him yet. And the first pitch will be low and away in the dirt to Young to get it started. 1 ball and no strike. Midland Trail Conference tourney on the softball side rolls on. They played the championship, oddly enough, on Saturday, but had to get to third place in today due to graduation at one of the schools. As the 1-0 pitch catches a corner, it's going to be 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Mr. Young. So Centralia leads only 7-0 after 4. In the Midland Trail Conference third place game, as that'll be low and away, 2-1 to Young. On the softball side, Wayne City leads West Richland 7-3 in the bottom of the fifth. Trying to get you some more scores in a bit. 2 balls, 1 strike to Young. Nobody out, nobody on as Collins gets started. Takes one over the plate. And it's 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way, and that's going to be front-footed off of the mound. It's going to get to the third baseman. Foster will fire over to first. Just beats Young to the bag. And 5-3 will be your first out. Get your credit approved over the phone at Second Chance Auto without even leaving your house. Pick up the phone and dial 244-4582. No fancy sales gimmicks. Just honest deals at Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Here at the top of the sixth, 1-0. 1 out, nobody on for Colton Metter. Pitch on the way, and that's going to miss low. You want to know. Of course, the Rams trying to avoid back-to-back losses. Shut out for only the second time on Friday. Don't want it to happen again. Ground ball to third. Foster picks it up and fires across, and that's going to get away. Would have had him. Not a very good throw, and that'll be an error. We'll see if the Rams can make the best of this situation. Tying run on first base, and only 1 out for Trevor Flota, who singled his last time. The lone Ram hit. Give me $1 if you tell me who the courtesy runner is going to be. Time's up. It's Tyler Ellis. Not even have to look. Of course, watch it be wrong. Nope. Trying to remember the last time the Rams lost back-to-back games. Trying to avoid that here. Trying to avoid back-to-back shutouts. I believe Waterloo Triad was the last time. That is it. A Wednesday and a Friday. 1 out, a runner on. Flota takes the first pitch across the outside corner. The right-hander falls behind here. 0-1. Flota, of course, got the day off for the most part on Friday, which was his birthday. And the right-hander will dig back in. 0-1 the count. Tying run is Ellis on first base. And trying to catch a nap, and he gets back with a good head first time. Red Lake College player of the game. Save thousands on your college education. Log on to rlc.edu to find out how you can save big money. Pitch on the way, the 0-1. Tapped foul to the backstop. It'll be 0-2 here to T. Flow. Williams, a shortstop on deck here for the Rams. Just past the bottom of the 5 o'clock hour. WMIX Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting worldwide at WMIXsports.com. Klosterman, the right-hander, gets set. Pitches from the first base side of the rubber, which has become more of the norm. Well, not as extreme. That's just a very dirty rubber out there. He's actually close to the middle, as we like to see, as they check on the runner at first base. 0-2 the count. 1 out, tying run on first. They're at the top of the 6th. Rams trail West by a score of 1-0. Reliever Klosterman gets set. That's going to be in the dirt. Good stop there. The runner has to stay put. And the count will be 1-2 to Flota. Williams on deck. Reeves to follow. Should the Rams keep this 6th inning going? The home half will see 2, 3, and 4 due up for West. Lady Rams softball tomorrow against Effingham. We'll have that for you on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. As Flota's out in front, unable to go anywhere, and that'll be the first strikeout for Klosterman. 2nd out of the inning. And it'll be up to Matt Williams to keep the inning alive. Of course, the Rams baseball banquet tomorrow night. We'll head there as soon as Lady Rams softball wraps up. Should be fun. We'll see all of your award winners, the JV. We'll see some of them get their first letters. We'll see some of the varsity guys earned some very distinguished Rams baseball awards. 2 outs and a runner on, the tying run on first in a 1-0 ball game, and this is going to miss low to Williams, 1-0. Williams, Klosterman gets set, and that's going to be in the dirt with the runner going. Here comes the throw down to second base. Ellis is in there safely. As the throw led the shortstop, Van Onsdale, the second baseman, well off of the bag, and so he did not even get a tag off as the throw ended up well behind the runner. So an RBI chance now on a 2-0 count for Williams on a stolen base by Tyler Ellis. See if the Rams can bring this run home on a base hit. 2-0 pitch on the way. Williams can get out in front. Sends it to short. Picked up by Meyer. Fires over to first in time. So the Rams strand their 6th runner of the afternoon. We are still 1-0 West through 5.5. This is Commentator Baseball from WMIX Sports.
Southern Illinois now has a better home for sports. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Jam-packed with local scores, video highlights, and archives of every local sports broadcast on WMIX. Did your team win? Missed that game-winning shot last night? Didn't catch your favorite coach on the Saturday Sports Show? WMIXSports.com is right at your fingertips. On your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, or your video game console. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Another free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank, asking why you bank with Community First Bank. Is it knowing your deposits are also vital to home loans in Jefferson County and our local economy? Is it having your choice of convenient locations and ATMs? Is it seeing a staff of friendly faces you recognize as your neighbors? These are all reasons enough to count, though you only need one, and we are honored you chose us. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and WMIXSports.com.
And we head to the bottom of the 6th. 65 pitches thus far for Brock Fulkerson. 1-0 West on top. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 with Adam Bauer, Aaron Meyer, and Nick Van Onsdale due up for the Maroons. We're here at Belleville West High School, the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by King City Chrysler Center, 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Schedule your service appointments online at kingcitychrysler.com. Lefty Bowers grounded out to first. Both plate appearances. He's 0-2 on the day and takes a pitch low and inside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Fulkerson gets set, and this is going to be off the plate to the left-handed batter. 2 balls, no strikes here to Adam Bauer. Aaron Meyer, Nick Van Onsdale to follow. Of course, Meyer pretty well the lone offense today for West. 2-0 count. This is going to be tapped foul. I think it might have been off of the right ankle with Bauer. And the count is 2 balls and a strike. On the air tomorrow and Wednesday at 4:15. The Lady Rams will host Effingham tomorrow. The Rams will travel to Edwardsville on Wednesday. We'll take Thursday off and then have Lady Rams softball on Friday and the Rams doubleheader on Saturday. This will be fouled off. The count evens itself up at 2-2. Good battle here by Fulkerson. All behind 2-0 and come back at 2 fouls. Count evens at 2-2. Of course, the JV game going on behind us. The Rams JV team with over 23 wins this year. Ground ball to short gets stopped by Williams. Gets off his knees to make a rifle, but throw over to first for the out. 6-3. We have the first down here in the 6th. The Rams' last chance 7th. It'll be the bottom of the order. We'll see if Tim Holloway stays with Clayton Reeves, Sawyer Harrison, and Aiden Peninsky, as they still try to find win number 25. And a 14-game unbeaten streak snapped on Friday as Mater Dei with a surprising 4-0 victory. Rams trying to avoid back-to-back shutouts as well. So Fulkerson on the hill. Aaron Meyer will stand in. Of course, he doubled and scored back in the 4th. Only run across the plate, and he'll see a pitch in the dirt. 1-0. Try to get him chased after a curveball in the dirt. What's going to happen? And with 1 out, the base is empty. See what Meyer can put together here. Here it comes, and this is low. 2 balls, no strikes to Meyer. Van Onsdale, of course, always tough on deck. As far as name recognition, probably the name you're going to recognize the most on this West lineup. Here comes another. Ooh, that catches 2-1. course, we don't know or understand about your existing policies can end up hurting you and your family. With the right help from Country Financial, almost any family can achieve financial security. Develop a plan to meet your goals with your Country Financial representative in Mount Vernon, Sarah Stately. As Meyer gets another base hit, this time in the left field, it'll be a single. He's 2 of 3 today. In fact, he might be the Red Lake College player of the game before it's all said and done. We'll have your Schmitz-Relay post-game show after this one. Right now, the Rams trying to keep it a 1-0 ball game. West threatening with a runner aboard here, 1 out, bottom of the 6th, and then steps Nick Van Onsdale. Fulkerson out of the stretch will fire, and this is going to catch the inside corner to get ahead here, 0-1. Told you the Rams last chance 7th. It'll be the bottom of the order due up. Fulkerson gets set. Ground ball to short. Can they turn 2? The second for 1. Floater will turn, and a soft throw won't get there in time. So that'll go down as 6-4 on the fielder's choice, and Nick Van Onsdale reaches. So if you're looking for a silver lining, they at least get the lead runner. With 2 outs, it keeps the runner on first base for Parker Biney, who grounded out to second back in the 2nd and struck out back in the 4th. Rams will really need to get this batter here and try to come back in the 7th and at least tie it up or maybe take a lead. 76 pitches thus far for Fulk, as this one is going to miss low, 1-0 here to Biney. So 1 ball, no strikes, runner on first, 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They'll check on Van Onsdale, not going to get very far. That first dive back in the bag, nothing doing. Game got started at about 4:22. So an hour, 22 minutes in. It's going to be a low strike. The throw was just off to the right. Williams will pick it up and keep Van Onsdale there. It was a strike, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike here to Biney. Of course, the DH who was batting, I should say, for the right fielder, James. As Fulkerson looks in, finds the sign he wants. It's going to be a soft tap ground ball. It's going to have to Fulk to get it off the mound. Picks it up, fires to the first base bag, and so that'll limit it. And the Rams keep it 1-0 as we head to the top of the 7th. This is Rams Baseball from WMIX School.
What is good sports talk, really? Around these parts, it's the WMIX Saturday Sports Show. Every Saturday morning after the 8 o'clock news. With a vast assortment of interviews and knowledgeable in-studio discussion. It's the most content-driven local sports show on the radio dial. And it's every Saturday morning after the 8 o'clock news. Only on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com. Where you can listen on your computer, smartphone, or any device. It's all made possible by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be.
Don't just dream about a better job. Go get it with scores of programs that take 2 years, 1 year, or even just a few months to complete. Red Lake College is your gateway to a career you'll love. From nursing to coal mining, from computer programming to cosmetology, and everything in between. Red Lake College is affordable, convenient, and ready to get you trained for your new job fast. Call us at 618-437-5321 or visit us at rlc.edu.
Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And we had the last chance 7th for the Rams. On to close it out, of course, is Matt Klosterman, who would pick up a rare 2-inning save here if he can keep the Rams at bay. It'll be the bottom of the order due up here in this last chance. And Clayton Reeves, Sawyer Harrison, and Hayden Beninsky. Barring any changes in Tim Holloway's lineup. 1-0 your score. West's blown offense came back in the 4th. Again, a leadoff double by Aaron Meyer. Was grounded over to third base by Nick Van Onsdale. And, of course, while Bainey was up there with a 2-2 count, a 1-2 count. A wild pitch made it 2-2. And allowed the one and only run to cross the plate. So Reeves will stand in here. Being Klosterman for the first time here at the top of the 7th inning, brought to you by Community First Bank of the Heartland. He'll look at a first pitch in the dirt, gets ahead here, 1 ball and no strike. Community First Bank with responsive quality service for all of your accounts at 5 Jefferson County branches. Brought you back to personal banking, member FDIC. This one is going to get away 2-0. It bounced around and took a hop over the mid of the catcher and bounced about halfway back to the plate. Quick 2-0 count for Clayton. He's the left fielder today. Not get to start on Friday in a loss against Mater Dei, but Rams trying to avoid back-to-back shutouts and back-to-back losses. Reeves shows bunt, pulls back to distract the pitcher. Comes inside 3-0. The Rams try to play some head games. We'll have, of course, your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show coming up. Hopefully after the bottom of the 7th. This one is going to catch about belt high. So the obligatory 3-1 to Reeves with Harrison on deck here in the last chance 7th. West leads 1-0. What has been a pretty solid game thus far. Klosterman on in his second inning of work, and that's going to miss high. So the Rams get a runner aboard here in the 7th. Unfortunately, they've also had 6 runners aboard. They stranded the ball, and we're going to see a visit to the mound. This break in the action powered by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy. 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon, where customer service is their top priority, as Coach Meyer does not like what he sees. Rally caps are on in the dugout, of course. We're going to see a new pitcher. Klosterman is off the hill. So we're going to see a new West pitcher. We'll take a 1-minute break. This is Rams Baseball from WMIX Sports.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins. You did it. It's graduation day, and you've got that feeling beyond compare. From kindergarten to graduation, your day-to-day efforts have been your first long-term investment. Community First Bank extends congratulations along with a promise. In the coming year, we will increase our community scholarship dollars to encourage graduation goals across Jefferson County and further invest in our community. Like us on Facebook to learn more. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
You've just got to see the new Chevy Sonic at Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. The Sonic gets an estimated 40 miles per gallon on the highway. The Sonic features a 5-star safety rating. It's very affordable. Right now, you can get a rebate up to $1,000. And with a full factory warranty backed by a service department that is second to none, why buy used? Get your Chevy Sonic today at Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Back to Rams Baseball, powered by Community First Bank.
And we welcome you back, WMIX, WMIXSports.com. Your new West pitcher will be a former shortstop, Aaron Meyer, of course, looking to come in and get the save. Here in the 7th with one on, the side run on first is Clayton Reeves. Sawyer Harrison will stand in. A 1-0 ball game with West on top. The Rams trying to make something happen here. So the line on Klosterman is he worked an inning, walked one, and then the rest of it are goose eggs. Did not allow a hit nor allow a run. Did give up a stolen base, however, as we wait the first pitch. Harrison shows bunt, pops it up to the backstop pretty high. Got the bat down, and that'll be 0-1. Get you one last scoreboard update here in just a moment. Hoping to have more baseball to be played here at the top of the 7th. Tying run on first. 0-1 the count to Harrison. Nobody out. Meyer, the new pitcher. New shortstop, of course, is Sean Cable. Here comes. Keeps the bat high. Pulls it back. And on a pitch that was about to shoot tops, that'll be 0-2. Interesting. So the right-hander, Aaron Meyer, gets set with a runner on first base. Well off of the first base side of the rubber, out of the stretch with the runner on. Of course, Harrison trying to delay all he can. Once time, he'll dig in and get his feet set, as he should. Just had ball one, called a strike, and it's 0-2. Like what he's doing here, trying to disrupt the rhythm of the pitcher, Meyer. Takes his time, digging back in. We'll see if this works. 0-2 the count with a runner on first. Nobody out in the 7th. Ooh, and hacks the curveball back foul. So, we'll repeat no balls and 2 strikes. Peninsky on deck for the Rams. On first is Clayton Reeves, who walked to lead off the inning. Rams trying to make the Maroons pay here in the top of the 7th. Pitch up high. And it'll be 1-2. Whoa. Comes, and it's going to be a strike 3 called on the inside corner. Yikes, and that's going to be the first strikeout. The first batter faced, of course, for Aaron Meyer. That'll bring in Hayden Peninsky. Runner on, the tying run on first base. It's a 1-0 ball game here in the top of the 7th. And a baseball regional today at the DuQuoin Regional, Pinckneyville all over Waltonville Session-Lear 14-2. Of course, we get you. Mater Dei leads Central 1-0 for 7th in a regional game. As this one to be pot sky high. Right side underneath it is Bauer. He'll make the grab. Reeves will stay on first base on the 3 unassisted. More like an F3. It will be the Rams down to the last chance to be Jake Pike with a runner on first base. 2 outs here in the 7th. Rams need a big bat to come alive here in the top half, maybe force the bottom half. You're trailing 1-0 on the road at West. Back in action on Wednesday, of course. That'll be against the Edwardsville Tigers right here on WMIX. So Meyer gets set. Here comes the pitch on the way to Pike. He'll take high, 1-0. That was a fastball that just kind of got up and got up and got up. And the count will be 1-0 with Landon Thomas on deck for the Rams, trying to keep it alive, trying to avoid back-to-back losses for the first time since Triad and Waterloo back in March. The runner's going. The pitch looks like a miss. The throw is going to be high, and Reeves will be safe, and it's an RBI chance now. Maybe to get something going with 2 outs here in the 7th. Good base running by Clayton. On a throw that was high, and it was going to be late. I believe a 2-0 count. See what the Rams can do here. Last chance, 7 with a 2-0 count, 2 outs here. Runner on second represents a tying run, and that's going to be a strike on the outside corner. Emphatically so. So Tony Will brings you all scoreboard updates. Find them online at TonyWill.com or look for the White State Farm Jeep around town and get you a better state with your good neighbor, Tony Will. 2-1 coming. Pike will swing and miss. The Rams are down to their final strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rams need a base hit here to try to tie it up and at least secure a bottom half of the 7th inning. Like that, you see him get a couple of runs here. Pike's powered a couple over the fence this year. Hit well of late. Of course, he's hit well all season, but it's 2-2 here. Rams down to their final strike, 2 outs in the top of the 7th, and 1-0 ball game. Where's it going? Here it is. That's going to be a ground ball tap to the right side. Foot race to the back will be won easily by Adam Bauer. And the Rams will fall to Belleville West here today by a final of 1-0. We'll, of course, have your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show after this. This is Rams Baseball from WMIX Sports.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank, asking why you bank with Community First Bank. Is it knowing your deposits are also vital to home loans in Jefferson County and our local economy? Is it having your choice of convenient locations and ATMs? Is it seeing a staff of friendly faces you recognize as your neighbors? These are all reasons enough to count, though you only need one, and we are honored you chose us. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Response has been overwhelming to scheduling your service appointments online at FordSquare.com and KingCityChrysler.com. Hi, Roy Schmidt, President at Ford Square and King City Chrysler Center. We love that you've taken to our websites to schedule your service appointments and are always trying to find ways to make our service departments more convenient for you. Now, we're proud to offer express lane fast oil changes and more at King City Chrysler Center. This means you can stop in when it's convenient for you without an appointment. We're even open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon. Don't wait until it's too late to find out about vehicle problems. Come in for a quick express lane oil change and you'll get a free top-to-bottom vehicle inspection. It's the worry-free way to keep your vehicle running smoothly. Come see us at King City Chrysler Center for quick, convenient service, now open Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
When you hear the warm, inviting sound of a crackling fire, what comes to mind? A rustic campground? A cozy cabin? How about the new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center? Our new family lounges feature a lot of comforts you might not expect. Things like this. No, that's not a babbling brook or serene stream out in the countryside. It's a 2-story waterfall located right here at Good Samaritan. And that's not the only way we're raising the bar for patient comfort. We've added lush healing gardens, as well as wall after wall of beautiful artwork, all designed to create the perfect healing atmosphere. And if all this sounds like music to your ears, we encourage you to check us out. Chances are, we're not too far from where you are right now.
The new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital, raising the bar.
Southern Illinois now has a better home for sports. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Jam-packed with local scores, video highlights, and archives of every local sports broadcast on WMIX. Did your team win? Missed that game-winning shot last night? Didn't catch your favorite coach on the Saturday Sports Show? WMIXSports.com is right at your fingertips. On your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, or your video game console. It's the all-new WMIXSports.com. Another free service from Withers Broadcasting. This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX. The Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show starts now.
And we welcome you into your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. Rams fall to Belleville West 1-0. They dropped to 24-7-1 in the regular season. West improves to 18-10. Of course, we owe you your Heartland County postgame stats. We'll get to that in just a moment. Schmidt Chevrolet, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon, online at schmidtchevrolet.com, of course. Broadcast schedule the rest of the week. Later, Rams softball tomorrow, of course, against the Effingham Flaming Hearts. 4:15, your pregame right here on AM 940 and online at WMIXSports.com. Then, on Wednesday, the Rams will head back to Madison County. They'll take on the Edwardsville Tigers. Another matchup against the quality Southwestern team. Southwestern Conference, I should say. That'll be on Wednesday, 4:15, your scheduled pregame. Then on Friday, after a day off on Thursday, the Lady Rams will travel to Salem. Should be a great time for the WMIX sports crew, we hope. Of course, as 4:15 will be your pregame up there in Marion County. Then on Saturday, the Rams are back home to close out the regular season. They will welcome the Highland Bulldogs, weather permitting, for a 10:45 pregame in a doubleheader. 1-0 is your final. It was no runs, 1-2, maybe hits half, depending upon how you score a couple. But we'll go no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 7 left aboard for the Rams today. 1 run on 4 hits, no errors, and 4 left on base for the Maroons. Jacob Wilson picks up the win, improving to 4-1. Brock Fulkerson takes the loss, dropping to 8-2. Aaron Meyer, of course, will pick up the save for the Maroons. Game time, 1 hour and 32 minutes. We got started at 4:22, finished up at 5:54. And, of course, a great effort by Brock Fulkerson. 79 pitches. Just didn't have it today with the lack of run support. So the Rams dropped back-to-back games for the first time since March. And, of course, it's just the third time they've been shut out here in 2013. Those numbers calculated by Heartland Accounting. Get started right. Let Heartland Accounting help make your business a success. Heartland Accounting, 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B, your small business expert. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look for a Ridley College player of the game. This is Rams Baseball from WMIX Sports.
I'm Edie Rob with a look at your next rad weather. This afternoon, partly sunny skies, pleasant and warm, high 69. For tonight, clear skies, low 52. Partly sunny and warm tomorrow, high 86. Tuesday night, clear skies, low 62. Warm with clouds and sun on Wednesday with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, high 86. Showers and a thunderstorm Thursday, high 78. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Backaches, bad hips, rickety knees? Why not try aquatic therapy? The Red Lake College Aquatic Center has more than a swimming pool. Try a 6-lane, 75-foot lap pool, along with a whirlpool 10 feet in diameter and a 10-foot by 20 hydrotherapy pool. Aquatic therapy is very affordable. In many cases, the tuition is waived entirely. With special access and dressing areas for the elderly and physically challenged, getting in the water is easy. Experts are on hand to assist with various areas of aquatic fitness and rehab. Call 437-5321 extension 1207 or visit rlc.edu.
Listen to us from any device at WMIXSports.com. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
And we welcome you back to your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon. View their inventory online at schmidtchevrolet.com. No runs on 2 hits for the Rams, 1 run on 4 hits for West. The Maroons claim a victory in 1 hour and 32 minutes here to improve to 18-10. 24-7-1 are the Rams. They'll try for number 25 again. This time it'll be Wednesday afternoon. But of course, this is one of those weeks where you look at the Rams' schedule. Could easily win a bunch of games or could easily drop 4s. We'll see what happens the rest of this week. You won't want to miss Rams baseball on Wednesday as they head to Edwardsville to take on the Tigers. Should be a good one. We'll have it for you here on WMIX and WMIXSports.com. A little tough here. Looking at your player of the game contender, and Rams were silent offensively. You got just the 1 hit from Trevor Flota. Only offense really to speak of, but player of the game will be Brock Fulkerson, who had a decent pitching effort, just didn't get much help. Anytime he surrendered a base runner, was able to come back and shut him down, with the lone exception being in that 4th inning. and West wins this 1-0. Red Lake College, where you can save thousands of dollars on your college education. Log on to rlc.edu to find out how. That's going to do it for us today here on WMIX Mount Vernon. We're back on the air tomorrow. Lady Rams softball at home against Effingham. 4:15 your pregame. 4:30 is your first pitch time. Follow us on Twitter to stay up to date at WMIX Sports. We're also online at WMIXSports.com. You'll find the first and finest scoreboard tonight online at WMIXSports.com from any device. That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Clark, back in the Mount Vernon studio. For everyone at WMIX Sports, on behalf of our sponsors, thank you for listening to the Mount Vernon Rams. I'm Chris Hugo, reminding you your final score. So Belleville West Maroons 1, the Mount Vernon Rams 0. So long from St. Clair County.
Thank you for listening to Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and online at WMIXSports.com. Rams Baseball has been presented by the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams, Community First Bank. Welcome back to personal banking. The Mount Vernon Rams on WMIX are also sponsored in part by Ren Lake College. See how you can save thousands on your education at rlc.edu. The Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon, Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a Hospital. Raising the Bar. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. And also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Sarah Staley, your country financial agent. Heartland Accounting. And by Central Christian Church. Your home for news, talk, sports, and America's best music. WMIX. Find archived broadcasts of Rams baseball at WMIXSports.com.